Happy Halloween, everybody, or whenever you're watching this. But seeing this is the iconic Valentina October special, I've decided to focus on a fitting Halloween creature. And what better than some of my favorite animals, bats. Bats are an incredibly diverse and massively underrated group of animals, making up nearly a quarter of all mammal species and spanning worldwide. They vary in all kinds of shapes, sizes, diets, mating habits, migratory habits, and so much more. In fact, you could say there's a bat for just about everyone. What's your kind of bat? You've got your insectivorous bats, your fishing bats, your pollinator bats, your fruit bats.
Mr. Batzilla and I have just come back from a rescue. We picked up Mr. Forrest here. He's in a filthy mood.
And even your sanguivorous bats. That's right, the vampires! Coming in 3 different species. Vampire bats are the only parasitic mammals on Earth, feeding exclusively on blood, in that all extreme picky eaters are parasites. You wouldn't want to take a vampire bat to a fancy restaurant. Where's the blood? Where's the blood? Wah. While they normally go after livestock more than humans, bites from vampires sure ain't unheard of. And draining your blood is far from the worst thing they can do to you, with rabies and other terrible diseases you can contract from them. But as fearsome as they are for something smaller than my hand that hops around like a frog with a chafed bikini area, is that one on a freaking treadmill? Oh wow, he's on the move, isn't he? Beware Count Frogula. What were we talking about? Oh right, as fearsome as vampire bats are, there is a different kind of vampire that eats other vampires. And that, my friends, is my kind of bat. This is Vampirum spectrum, also known as the spectral bat or the great false vampire bat. Not to be confused with these not-so-great false vampire bats, because apparently the name false vampire bat was so necessary for multiple completely different bat species. I like spectral bat because it makes them sound all the more spooky. In the dense jungles of southern Central and South America awaits this sharp-nosed demon of the night. Other animals should fear the skies when they're about because these bats are apex predators. These bats are absolutely monstrous, the largest bat species in the Western Hemisphere. In fact, they are the largest carnivorous bats in the world. Sorry, this one just looks absolutely traumatized. Most carnivorous bats will eat insects, which is exactly why you'll want as many of them as you can around your house. But spectral bats have a hunger for vertebrates. They will feast on all sorts of creatures, rodents, birds, lizards, and even other bats, including vampire bats. Along with other carnivorous bats, they are also known to kill other nighttime hunters, such as small owls, making them the true kings of the night sky. Yeah, I didn't have to read Silverwing or watch its Canadian furry animated series to know spectral bats were awesome, but I did.
Where is your colony? Tell me.
And because those books got crazy, that led to me learning about the Maya vampire bat death god Camazotz, which was what got me into Smite in the first place. There's a bit of Valentina trivia for you. Anyway, they hunt using a fierce combination of echolocation, sight, hearing, and scent. Most notably, they seem to be able to identify the distress calls of other bats and use their own cries for help against them. A bat that literally feeds on fear itself. They're even known to pick out smaller bats that have been caught by man-made mist nets. Once caught between their jaws, there is no escape. They kill their prey by delivering a powerful, crushing bite to the skull with a bite force of around 100 newtons. Mwahahaha! Alright, time out. I've gone heavy on the scare factor for this video, and believe me, I understand the psychological horror I've just ridden upon you all with this species. But I would be doing this animal a massive disservice if that was all we focused on. As scary as spectral bats are, they are actually quite nuanced and intriguing. For instance, they are one of few known bats that are entirely monogamous, and are one of only 2 existing bat species that have, present fathers, or specifically fathers that will actually provide parental care. The father will go out to hunt while mama will stay home and protect the little devil. That's right, only one child. The fathers are even known to sleep alongside his family with his wings wrapped around them. And if that is not the cutest thing you've heard all week, then I'm straight. In fact, it is believed they will continue to live with their offspring even well after they're no longer dependent on them, rather than kicking them out at 18 and expecting them to suddenly know everything about what to do with their lives. It's some pretty wholesome parenting for what is essentially Ozzy Osbourne's spirit animal. Right down to the decapitation of other bats. Additionally, these bats are a big sign of the overall health and conservation of their ecology, making each sighting a genuine blessing for their environment and a great sign for their conservation. And that's what might be so captivating about these animals. Spectral bats challenge everything we know about monsters. How can an animal that is so vicious and terrifying, ruling the skies nearly uncontested and feasting exclusively on animal flesh and fear, simultaneously be this beady-eyed, inquisitive, and even affectionate creature whose very presence is a great sign of their environment? As of 2018, spectral bats are classified as near threatened by the IUCN Red List due to habitat loss and other human-related destruction. They are classified as endangered in Bolivia and Mexico, and populations, while hard to speculate, are showing signs of dropping in all ranges. It is even said that the local folks of Trinidad sometimes view them as ghosts and will even go out of their way to destroy their roosts. One of endless cases of an animal being killed because we don't like how they look. Bats in general could honestly be considered one of the most misunderstood animals of all time. They're not blind, they're not dirty, they're not stupid. They don't fly into people's hair, they don't bite people on the neck, and statistically, they're not even the most rabid animals out there. Remember the smaller vampire bats from earlier? The ones that feed exclusively on blood? Even those little freaks have a softer side to them. They are known to actually share blood, regurgitating it into the mouths of other bats that haven't had a meal of their own. And if you happen to throw one in bat jail, for some reason, the others will come and share the blood with the trapped bat. They can freaking help others in need. Meanwhile, us humans are struggling for basic rights. The spectral bat might be a killer out of some kind of horror movie, but guess what, y'all? They're completely harmless to you and me, as are a majority of other bats so long as we keep our distance and leave them alone. They are the backbones of several different ecosystems, and without them, those ecosystems would completely collapse, and we would suffer inconceivable loss of resources in turn. Merlin Tuttle, a bat conservationist who has provided much of the images used for this video, is doing his best to inform the public to help save the bats from poaching and the devastating loss of habitat due to land development. Please consider donating to his cause, links in the description, because we need all the help we can get in undoing the horrible reputation we have given these wonderful animals. Do not see this bat as the monster that wraps its wings around its victims to devour them. See them as the gentle fathers that wrap their wings around their own mates and children to protect them in their sleep. Do not see this bat as the horrible demon of the night that sucks the blood of other animals. See it as the bat that will share its food with those in need. Do not see them as pests, see them as pest control. Do not see them as destroyers, but as protectors of their ecosystems. Us vilifying, generalizing, and fear-mongering nearly a fifth of all mammal species might just be the scariest thing about them. Boo! As always, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed Vampirum with Valentina. Please consider liking and subscribing if you've made it thus far, as it really helps out the channel. My name is Valentina, and have a happy Halloween! Lean back, just like that. Push me down, make me do that dance. So squeeze that, no more hands. Bit my lip like a vampire bat. Now lean back, just like that. Push me down, make me do that dance. So squeeze that, no more hands. Bit my lip like a vampire.